The elevator has stopped moving. There is no engine, no hum of gears, only a tether, thick as intention, and stretched taut from earth to sky. The survivors must climb it now, step by suspended step, through the fragments of memory embedded along the vertical strand. Each rung whispers, family names, forgotten promises, unresolved grief. Each level reorders the mind, not the body. This isn't ascension, it's remembrance by elevation. When they reach the top, they're met with a mirror, but the mirror is upside down, not a flaw, but a law. It shows who they've become, from the point of view of who they refuse to be. Memory reordering ascent. As they climb, survivors must confront flashbacks and skipped emotional events that are rewoven into current understanding. Tether as resonant archive. The elevator acts as a timeline index, not a means of travel, but of sorting. At the peak of the climb, each survivor must choose to either accept the mirror's truth, the inverted reflection of their choices, or deny it. Acceptance unlocks the zero-gravity memory. Well, an inner arc chamber where they may reconcile with their past selves through free-floating resonance streams. Denial causes the tether to twist back on itself, ejecting them mid-climb into the opposite role, a dimensional inversion of their function, history, or soul assignment. Against all odds, the crew reaches orbit, but something's off. Instead of gracefully circling Earth, the orbital platform begins, remembering, not rotating, recalling. It spins not with physics, but with nostalgia. Tony A, sensing an opportunity, launches a zero-gravity carnival. Cotton candy strings float like subatomic filaments. The carousel loops at quantum speed. Alt Tony sets up Tony's Tether Tours, selling fake orbit licenses to bees, claiming insects don't need passports in low G. Gabriella rides a floating lounge chair sideways, singing an aria only the void understands. The orbit is a memory loop, not a gravitational one. The orbital ring begins spinning based on collective nostalgia rather than any form of propulsion. Say, Tony A transforms the station into a satirical commerce zone. Patrons include goats, ghosts, and forgotten versions of Elon Musk. Playing into the chaos unlocks momentary time-space shift windows, brief, unpredictable portals tied to emotional resonance. The crew must choose how to respond to orbital rememory. Play along, accept the orbital absurdity, and enter the loop of playful timeline skipping. It grants brief access to any moment, but might erase personal continuity if abused. Resist the spin. Try to anchor the Ark's platform to reality, only to turn the whole station into a tetherball, with Earth acting as the pole and the Ark as the whirling sphere. The longer they deny it, the faster they spin. The quantum monks gather barefoot beneath the trembling base of the Setonium elevator, divining the launch vector not from steel, but from spirit. After multiple failed recalibrations, they realize the issue isn't spatial, it's moral geometry. The angle is the measure of belief, not only trajectory. The launch cannot succeed until the tribe finds the true moral arc. Measuring righteousness, Alt Tony said with determination. It's exactly 90 degrees, but it's just inside out, Blah replied casually. At the peak of the climb, truth unspools. The elevator was never an ascent. It was a teaching aid. The walls collapse outward to reveal a 4D chalkboard, infinite and laughing. Each equation solved triggers a sarcastic chuckle. Each theorem disproved. Applause. You thought 1 + 1 = 2? Try 1 + belief and gravity, Tony said enigmatically. The elevator spirals, folding into a dimensional staircase of inverted letters and sideways primes, each step sounding like forgotten chords from the Ark's creation. Mathematical narrative collapse. Equations become metaphors. Metaphors become dimensional truths. Logic itself becomes performance art. Belief-gravity convergence. Consciousness shapes curvature. The Ark no longer moves through space. Space folds around the Ark's belief field. Arc step harmony. Activation. The staircase becomes a dimensional piano. Each step plays a lost memory, and some notes rewrite past scenes. Major conflict or decision. Surrender to inversion to unlock the dimensional piano interface. Tone by tone, survivors harmonize with the Ark's full historical frequency. Alternatively, resist the truth and the chalkboard becomes sentient, narrating survivor errors in mocking quantum limericks, aired across all timelines as comedy broadcasts.
The Arc of Reimagined Echoes by Nada Stroll. Read free on Amazon now.
Gravity isn't broken. It's just emotional now. When Tony A drops a stone, it doesn't fall like it should. It pauses midair, vibrates, and then sings a single harmonic tone before gently landing. Down has lost its definition. The crew debates. One points left, another points inward. It's wherever I feel the most, a child says thoughtfully. The Arc responds accordingly. It reorients, not by mass, but by the emotional density of its survivors. The heavier your heart, the harder it is to rise. The lighter your mind, the more you drift toward control panels or memory archives, unintentionally. Harmonic gravity fields. Each person aboard radiates a harmonic weight signature based on the unresolved emotional content they carry. Directional uncertainty. The ship's interior becomes a dynamic orientation matrix. Gravity is felt according to where your thoughts pull you, not where the planet would. Arc auto-recalibration. The Arc begins a rotation feedback loop trying to stabilize its core. It needs its crew's collective mass-to-memory balance aligned to continue forward trajectory. Each survivor must confront their own unresolved memories. Either they embrace and reconcile with them, allowing their inner gravity to stabilize, or they deny their pain, triggering orbit collapse. Acknowledgement results in the Arc stabilizing and syncing with navigational fields. Denial causes emotional feedback loops. The ship spins in orbit around its own unresolved echo field, trapping the crew in time-lagged spatial recursion. A young girl remembers her mother's name for the first time in years. She floats to the ceiling and starts laughing. Her laughter triggers a musical anomaly. Future versions of the Arc develop laugh-based gravity regulators. Theme parks on Timeline 12 become weightless joy zones. Meanwhile, one clone, Tony, gets stuck mid-chuckle in 0G and has to be gently pushed back into orbit by sentient furniture. As the Arc drifts through what was believed to be a stable upper atmosphere corridor, the crew begins to experience unexpected emotional triggers. It turns out the breathable medium isn't oxygen at all. It's scented emotional particles harvested, or perhaps leaked, from prior timelines. Every breath carries a memory, a heartbreak, a scent of loss, the taste of hope, even the shame of that haircut from 2006. Say Tony A, ever the opportunist, launches timeline-infused oxygen TM, offering canisters labeled things like First Kiss, Dad's Garage, and VHS rental guilt. Witness the seduction of nostalgia, neatly bottled for your inhalation pleasure, Tony A exclaimed excitedly. Tony inhales deeply from a canister labeled 1993 Prom Night and begins slow dancing with a vacuum hose. "My lungs are full of regrets," Blah shouted, panicked. The emotional fog grows thicker, enveloping the crew in memory-induced chaos. Key developments unveil themselves as the crew deals with the consequences of breathing literal emotion. Atmospheric memory drift. Emotional vapor trails from collapsed timelines begin affecting respiration and cognition aboard the Arc. Capitalist oxygen branding. Tony A commodifies breath as bottled memory hits, sparking a black market of nostalgia-induced highs. Identity fracture zones. Extended exposure risks memory crossover, identity confusion, and brief emotional possession by alt-selves. The major conflict arises. The crew must decide how to handle breathing literal emotion. Laugh it off. Humor becomes a biological filter. Laughing while breathing anchors memories safely and strengthens alignment. Take it seriously. Over-identifying with the inhaled emotions floods the nervous system with denied pasts. This causes spontaneous flashbacks, unwanted weeping, and group therapy sessions led by talking chairs. The crew's choice will determine whether memory becomes a tool or a trap. The crew steps into what appears to be a peaceful orchard, but quickly realizes they are not in any single version of Eden. They are in all of them, simultaneously. This is the garden, but it is not bound to one book or one history. The crops hum, the air vibrates with harmonic resonance. Carrots whisper verses from Book 2. Trees glitch between Edenic foliage and Martian root forms. Every plant's roots are quantum tethered to a different iteration of Eden from across the 12 books. Tony A begins analyzing growth patterns, expecting horticulture. Instead, he uncovers a fractal equation etched into the chlorophyll itself. Garden Prime, a recursive map of every Eden across the entire narrative thread. Key developments: quantum root networks. Every plant's root anchors into a unique timeline, absorbing memory, not nutrients. Multi-book plant life. Crops manifest from different narrative arcs. Hybrid plants like the banana of the bloodline and Cain's lettuce emerge. Discovery of Garden Prime. A mathematical algorithm interlinking all gardens into a single recursive Eden field, revealing the location of the seed of the next book. Major conflict or decision. Should the crew trace Garden Prime to its terminal node, unlocking the seed of the next book, or avoid interference fearing paradox rot? Choice 1. Map the equation, align the garden, and advance the narrative through stabilized multi-book Eden anchors. Choice 2. Accidentally disturb one root and infect Book 11 with fruit from Book 6, destabilizing prophecy lines with temporal paradox rot that rewrites characters mid-sentence. Welcome to a world where thoughts become theater. The humidity is emotion. The vines grow from memory. Lights dim based on confusion. Each memory becomes a scene. Each emotion manifests as a prop, from a broken clock ticking your regrets to a mirror only reflecting what you're pretending not to remember. Act 1. Denial, with intermission snacks of nostalgia, Tony said nostalgically. Blah. The singing fence hums and changes costumes, weaving chaos into melody. The crew, all past versions of themselves, seated in the front row, judging, crying, occasionally throwing fig-based snacks. Thoughts materialize as stage directions. Emotions gain form and begin acting independently. Beware the jealous chair, for it could sabotage the ending. Will you accept the play and unlock Dimensional Clarity Mode TM, or reject it and forever loop in a musical titled Tomato or Not, where every plot resauces nightly?
The Arc of Reimagined Echoes by Not. Read free on Amazon now.